Something has shifted, but not everyone can feel it. While the world scrolls mindlessly, a select few, just 2%, have paused because their spirit caught a signal. It wasn't loud, it wasn't visible, but it was undeniable. If you've been feeling restless, disconnected, or unusually alert lately, this message isn't random. You're not crazy. You're being spiritually awakened, and what's coming next is only for the aware. Stay with me. You're noticing things others aren't. You're sensing energy in places that used to feel normal. You're awake at odd hours, as if your spirit is trying to whisper something into your consciousness. You look around and realize people are distracted, more than ever, numbed by chaos, noise, and comfort. But you feel the tension in the air. You feel a divine pull, like something big is about to unfold. And you're right. There's a spiritual shift happening right now, and only the spiritually sensitive, the deeply connected, the ones who've been through the fire, can feel it. You're not part of the majority for a reason. The 98% are still asleep, but the 2% are being stirred. This isn't hype. This is a calling, a gentle but firm tug on your soul telling you to prepare. Not out of fear, but out of alignment. The old ways are dying. The world is changing, not just physically or politically, but spiritually. Energies are moving. Realms are colliding. And God is speaking in ways that can't be heard with the ear, but only with the soul. You may feel isolated right now, even misunderstood. That's because you're walking ahead of the wave. You feel what others can't yet comprehend. That's the cost and the gift of sensitivity. Lately, your thoughts have become deeper. You're no longer satisfied with shallow conversations or temporary pleasures. You crave purpose. Silence feels louder than noise. You've started questioning things you used to accept. That's not confusion, it's awakening. The shift in the spiritual realm is stripping away illusions. It's removing the masks people wear. And you, being part of that rare 2%, can feel the vibration before it becomes visible. You're noticing more synchronicities, repeating numbers, strange dreams, people entering or exiting your life suddenly. That's not coincidence. It's alignment. It's your spirit being tuned like an instrument, preparing to play in harmony with something bigger. You're not alone, even when it feels like it. The realm of the unseen is communicating with you, guiding you, preparing you. Have you noticed how uncomfortable you've become in certain environments? Places that once felt safe now feel off. Conversations that once entertained now feel empty. Your spirit is rejecting what's no longer part of your next level. You're being transitioned, quietly, powerfully. And no, it's not loud or dramatic. God doesn't need to make noise to make a shift. You may also be feeling drained, not physically, but spiritually. That's because your soul is in motion. Spiritual transitions often come with physical symptoms: fatigue, restlessness, sensitivity to sound or light. That's the cost of recalibration. But don't be discouraged. What feels like breakdown is actually breakthrough. The 2%, those who feel this shift, are being prepared for leadership in a world that doesn't yet know it needs saving. You are being trained to see beyond what is seen, to hear what isn't said, to walk with faith, not just logic, because the next chapter of your life requires spiritual clarity more than worldly success. You're being set apart. You're being fine-tuned. And while others are seeking comfort, you're being called to courage, to carry wisdom, to protect your energy. This is not the time to blend in. This is the time to rise in silence, obeying the whispers of the divine. Don't second-guess what you feel. Your discernment is sharpening. Your dreams may be revealing truths that your conscious mind can't grasp yet. Pay attention. The spirit realm is more active than ever, and you're one of the few equipped to perceive its signals. Look at your journey, how you've survived things that should have broken you, how you've endured seasons that buried others. That wasn't just resilience. That was spiritual training. And now, that training is activating. The shift isn't just around you, it's inside you. You may feel misunderstood by those around you. Don't let that frustrate you. You weren't designed to be understood by the masses. You were designed to lead them, once they wake up, and they will. But for now, you're called to walk differently, think differently, move differently. Some people will drift from your life during this time. Let them. When your frequency rises, not everyone can breathe your air. It's not personal. It's spiritual. You're not losing them. You're finding yourself. The more you align with your higher calling, the less tolerance you'll have for the things and people that pull you away from it. You've been sensing that something is coming. And you're right. A wave of truth is about to crash down. Lies will be exposed. Structures will crumble. Hidden things will be revealed. This is not a season of fear. It's a season of revelation. The spirit realm is shifting to prepare the earth for a new divine order. And the 2% are the carriers of that energy. You weren't called to live an ordinary life. That's why ordinary things no longer satisfy you. That's why you can't just go along with what everyone else is doing. Your soul is too awake for that. Too alert. Too chosen. And yes, being in the 2% can feel lonely. But it's sacred. God doesn't need the crowd. He works through the called, through the willing, through the spiritually aware. That's who you are. That's why you're watching this. You didn't stumble here by accident. You were led here, and your spirit recognized the truth long before your mind caught up. Right now, you're being instructed in silence. No one sees the spiritual training you're undergoing, but it's real. You're being shown how to trust your instincts, how to pray deeper, how to walk by faith even when the road isn't clear. This is divine refinement. The next phase of your life will require a version of you that's not distracted, not drained, not divided. That's why God is separating you now, removing the noise, the false relationships, the clutter. Not to punish you, but to position you. There is something within you that the world hasn't seen yet, and the spirit realm is activating it. It's not loud, it's not flashy, but it's powerful. That quiet sense that something's shifting. That's heaven confirming its plan for you, and the confirmation will only get stronger. Let the world sleep. Let them mock. Let them scroll. You weren't called for the crowd. You were called for something deeper. Your sensitivity is a gift. Your restlessness is a signal. Your isolation is an incubation. Something is being born in you. This shift in the spirit realm isn't a theory. It's a movement, a stirring. And the 2% who can feel it aren't just witnesses. They're participants. They're the ones heaven is preparing. Quietly, strategically, spiritually. You're not here by chance. You're here because something inside you has always known you were meant for more. You've always felt it. And now, it's waking up. And now that it's waking up, you can no longer tolerate what used to numb you. You can no longer fake smiles in places where your soul feels suffocated. You can no longer say yes to things that pull you out of alignment. That's the cost of awareness. Once your spirit recognizes truth, it can never be unseen. And that's where you are. You're no longer the same version of you, and you're not meant to be. The shift in the spiritual realm has exposed what's fake and forced you to confront what's real. You're being called into authenticity, into clarity, into a new level of consciousness where spiritual awareness is your compass. Not popularity, not approval, not routine. You may not have words for it, but your soul has already responded. There's a reason you've lost interest in proving yourself. The need to impress others, to fit in, to chase validation, it's evaporating. That's not depression. That's divine detachment. You're pulling away from illusions so that you can step fully into your spiritual identity. You weren't born to blend in. You were born to carry light. And light doesn't argue with darkness. It simply shines. Even your silence has become more powerful. You no longer feel the need to explain your intuition. You're learning to trust the way God communicates through stillness, through signs, through sudden knowing. That's spiritual maturity. You've entered a realm where obedience matters more than outcome, where you follow divine prompts without needing everyone to understand. This is why so much is being stripped from your life, not to leave you empty, but to make space for what's real. Real relationships, real purpose, real alignment. What's being taken from you can't go where you're going. What's being removed has already expired spiritually, even if it still looks alive on the surface. You may feel like you're walking alone, but you're being led. You may feel unseen, but heaven knows your name. The separation is strategic. The silence is sacred. The struggle is refining you. You're not being punished. You're being prepared. The spiritual shift isn't something that will happen. It's already happening. Right now, across the world, people are being awakened one by one, quietly, strategically. The 2% are rising. They're not seeking attention. They're seeking truth. They're not chasing trends. They're following divine timing. They're not louder. They're deeper. And while others are focused on external blessings, you've been drawn to inner transformation. That's the proof you've been marked for something greater. The shift is real, and the ones who can feel it are being positioned to lead, to heal, to carry the frequency of the new world. You may feel a burning inside, a sense that something urgent is unfolding. That's not anxiety. That's anticipation. The spirit realm is realigning timelines. What was delayed is being released. What was hidden is being revealed. You're feeling the tremble of divine timing clicking into place. You've waited, you've trusted, and now it's close. You're being upgraded internally before the external can catch up. That's how God works. He doesn't elevate the surface until the soul is rooted, and you've been going deeper than ever, questioning, surrendering, listening. That's why your prayers have changed. Your language has changed. Even your energy has changed. You can't even pretend to be your old self anymore. The shift has made it impossible. The old you was survival. The new you is spirit-led. You're not reacting. You're responding. You're not chasing. You're attracting. You're not pleasing. You're aligning. And yes, some people have started distancing themselves. Let them. Your energy no longer feeds their comfort zone. You've outgrown the roles you used to play. You're no longer shrinking to keep others comfortable. That's not arrogance. That's truth. You've been sensing the weight of this shift, even if you didn't have the words. But now you know. This isn't just emotional or seasonal. This is spiritual. The heavens are making room for the ones who stayed faithful through the drought. And that includes you. Even when you felt forgotten, you kept believing. Even when you were tired, you kept going. Even when doors closed, you stood in front of them with faith. That was never in vain. The shift is heaven's response to your endurance. Your patience is being honored. Your pain is being turned into power. And it won't come through noise. It won't be announced with fanfare. It will come in waves, in sudden opportunities, unexpected breakthroughs, divine alignments. That's how the spirit realm moves. Silently, surely, and suddenly. You won't need to force anything. It will feel natural, inevitable, confirmed by peace, not pressure. This is why your isolation was necessary. God needed your full attention. He needed to clear the static, to tune your frequency to His voice. That's why you were pulled away. Not to punish you, but to prepare you to recognize what others will miss. Because soon, the 2% will be called to guide the 98%, to carry wisdom through chaos, to remain grounded when the world is shaken, to offer peace when fear takes over. And you, yes, you, are part of that remnant, that chosen thread woven through the chaos. This isn't just a message, this is confirmation. That thing you've been feeling, it's real. That shift you couldn't explain, it's divine. That season of silence, it was training. And now, everything is aligning, not just for your blessing, but for your assignment. Don't let the noise of the world dull your discernment. You're being called to walk with eyes that see beyond sight, to speak words that carry weight, to move when prompted, even when it makes no sense to others. Your spiritual sensitivity is your superpower now. And as this shift continues, you'll begin to notice your environment change. What once drained you will no longer touch you. What once confused you will now seem clear. The veil is lifting. You'll be drawn to certain places, people, and paths that align with your soul's mission. The divine is setting up divine appointments, conversations, connections, revelations, all timed perfectly, all part of the plan. You don't have to chase what's already yours. Just stay in position, stay sensitive, stay obedient. You're not late. You're not missing anything. You're being synchronized with something eternal. That's why the urgency you feel isn't panic, it's purpose. It's the spirit realm calling you into alignment, into action, into awareness. So breathe. Let go of fear. Release the pressure to have it all figured out. You don't need a map when you're being guided by something greater. Trust the nudges. Trust the pauses. Trust the redirections. They're not obstacles. They're orchestration. This is not the end. This is the entrance. The shift has begun. And the ones who feel it, the 2%, are already moving. Quietly, powerfully, in sync with heaven. You're not just sensing the change. You are the change. You are the carrier of divine frequency. The bridge between what was and what's coming. You are the proof that spiritual evolution is real. And as this shift intensifies, the rest will begin to notice. Some will awaken. Others will resist. But you will remain anchored. You will remain aware. You will remain chosen. Because you're not here to watch the shift. You're here to be the shift.